Alright, yeah, the qualifying's done. We got another minute or so.
Welcome, race fans, and good evening as we're here for the All-American Racing Network. We are here at Pocono Raceway. Going to be in for quite an interesting race here tonight. Guys are getting gridded up, and we will be entering the track shortly. What we're going to do right now, we're going to take a look at our race information. 80 laps, no stage laps, 3 additional tire sets, 2 green-white checkered attempts, 60% fuel for these guys, and 2.5 mile track, 100-degree air temperature, 1,869 feet above sea level, all that good stuff. Long Pond, Pennsylvania, the Tricky Triangle. We are ready to go here. It is time. So as soon as these guys get all gridded up, we will be going live. And looks like the field is gridded up. Looks like Matt Wilson either opting to start from the back, or he's serving a penalty. We'll go ahead and we'll look at our starting grid for the night. Row number 1 on the pole, Matt Wilson and Howard Peoples. Row number 2, Chris Romano and his teammate, Lucas Bray. Row number 3, Jaden Porter and Zachary King. Row number 4, Dave Allen and Jason Thomas. Row number 5, Daniel Dunaway and Ryan Testa. Row number 6, Joseph Conan and John Cook. And shotgun in the rear of the field, Garrett Essenberg. We're in for quite an interesting night here. Again, if I didn't introduce myself, my name is Front Row Joe. 80 laps, man, here at Pocono. Quite a lengthy race, and these guys looked really good in practice. A lot of guys putting down some very fast qualifying times. Really close together. And this should be quite the race. I am really looking forward to it as the pace car gets ready. Takes that hard left turn off of pit road. Off your seats.
Green flag.
Hands in the air. We're green flag. Howard Peoples getting the jump over Chris Romano. Lucas Bray right behind him to the outside of Romano. Both Bray and Peoples going to clear Romano. Going into turn 1 here. And look at this, Zachary King with a monster run on the outside. Zachary King, one of the top drivers in this league amongst Christian Barnes and Chris Romano, giving Peoples a shove down the straightaway into turn number 3. I am just going to make this race volume just a little bit louder. Lucas Bray right on the bumper of Zachary King. Getting some exit momentum, slides up, taps the wall just a little bit. That's going to allow Romano to slide up next to his teammate and around as they go down into the tunnel turn. The absolute dreaded tunnel turn. Nobody ever likes this turn. I like to call it Calamity Corner. It is so tight going in there. There's literally no room for error. So you got to make sure you take that turn with precision and accuracy with all aspects. It's Peoples, Zachary King, Chris Romano, Lucas Bray, Jaden Porter. Rounding out your top 5, Dave Allen still in the mix, not far behind. Let's go on board with Dave Allen here and see how Dave is making out with the difficulties of the tricky triangle. Getting up to speed about 185 miles an hour down into the tunnel turn, working that inside line, keeping that momentum. That's exactly how you got to do it here at Pocono. As Jaden Porter goes high, cuts down the track in front of Dave Allen. Porter going to lose some exit speed. Oh, and Romano, Peoples, Lucas Bray.
Throughout the course of that last run, did you see any rubber laying down at all?
We got to go back and take a look at that, ladies and gentlemen. Take a look at the Ideal Family instant replay. Howard Peoples into the wall. Chris Romano, nowhere to go. It was right in front of him. Take a look at it from Chris Romano's point of view. Peoples into the wall. Romano taps the wall just a little bit. Not too much damage for these guys, but not the way they wanted to start the race. Let's go back and take a look at that in slow motion. We'll take a look at it from Lucas Bray's point of view. Everybody working the top of the track. Peoples just gets a little tight into the wall. Gets around Romano, but gets into Peoples. Really unfortunate for these guys. Let's take a look. See if we can see what kind of damage these guys have. Lucas Bray's got some front end damage. Romano's got some left front damage. Peoples just crashed all to hell. But that's gonna yield the top spot to Jaden Porter. Jaden Porter getting some laps led in the All-American Racing Network. Got most of the field in the pits. I'm assuming that they're going to just come down. Top off with some fuel. As you see, Lucas Bray getting some damage fixed. Romano getting some damage fixed. Peoples getting some damage fixed. I'm assuming all of these guys gonna have at least a minute of damage. Could be more, could be less. But we will see if these guys can't get back on the track and contend for a win here. All three of those cars have the pace, have the driver skill to go for a win here. Take a look at our weather real quick. Air temperature 77 degrees, track temperature 102 degrees. Winds out of the northeast, 7 miles an hour. Cloudy outside and 50% humidity. And we are here for 80 laps. pace car crossing the start-finish line. We will go 1 to go. We'll take a quick look at our 10-car lineup. Our top 10 drivers for this restart: Jaden Porter, Dave Allen, Ryan Testa, Zachary King, John Cook, Daniel Dunaway, Jason Thomas, Garrett Essenberg, Matt Wilson, and Joseph Conan. Rounding out the top 10, it does look like Lucas Bray, Howard Peoples, Chris Romano, well, where is Romano? In the back of the field. He's got, I believe, all of his damage fixed. People's still going to have some damage. Lucas Bray still going to have some damage that he needs to get fixed. Smaller field today. We usually have about 24 to 25 drivers. Pocono is probably a track most of these guys are going to take a provisional for and opt out of it. The way I look at it is all you have to do at difficult tracks is survive. But here at Pocono, Jaden Porter on the button.
Green flag.
Inside the restart zone, and we are back. Green flag racing. As we see, I believe that's Matt Wilson stepping out of line, sending it 3 wide into turn number 1. Getting a run on the outside of the 77 John Cook. Still double file. Romano making some moves. Thought was going to go high behind Jason Thomas. Going to stay on the low line behind Cook. Romano in the 44 Sim Magic machine. Almost 3 wide. Coming out of turn number 3. Romano with a monster run on the 77 of John Cook. Not able to do a lot with it, but does get to his inside going to turn 1. Bounces off of the door of Cook. And completes the pass. We go and take a look at the battle here for first. Zachary King looking to make a move on the inside of 74. Jaden Porter able to keep the momentum out of the tunnel turn. I believe he might opt for a high line here, as he does. Going for the crossover, keeping that momentum, staying off of the wall. Catching that toe down the front straightaway, gives Porter a bump. Little bump and run action right here. Can King get to the inside of Porter and complete the pass and clear him? Not quite. Still side by side. He might clear him here in the tunnel turn. He's on the inside. Wow, Porter carrying tons of momentum on the high line, making it real difficult for Zachary King to complete this pass. King gonna clear him on entry. Center off, look at Porter going for the crossover to the inside. It's gonna give Zachary King the lead on lap number 10 of 80. Go back and look at the battle for 7th right now. Howard Peoples with that right front damage. The right rear damage is pretty banged up. You got Lucas Bray in the 57 Piggly Wiggly machine. And Daniel Dunaway in the number 15 machine working on him. Three-way battle, 4-7, as Chris Romano has worked his way up back into 5th. Just over a second and a half behind the leaders is Chris Romano. Chris Romano working on the number 31 of Dave Allen. As we jump up to the front real quick, Zachary King and Jaden Porter. Meatball Motorsports versus AG Motorsports. And Matt Wilson sticking his nose in there in the number 93 machine. Three-way battle for 1st, three-way battle for 7th. Can almost anticipate that Dave Allen and Chris Romano will be up there battling for the lead momentarily. As we see the angle that Zachary King is holding on the exit of turn 3. Okay, and we do see Matt Wilson missed his grid time, so unfortunate for our pole sitter, but not making too much of a difference as he slides up in front of Porter. He's got the nose out in front of him, but Porter having just a little bit more of that momentum. Wilson going up for a little side draft before the tunnel turn. But Porter really carrying a lot of that momentum on the high side. He's doing a really excellent job out there. I guarantee you I'd have wrecked if that was me. But this battle right here is allowing Zachary King to pull out in front. Zachary King just a little bit over a second out in front of Jaden Porter. And the Lone Ranger, Ryan Testa, about to go a lap down. Got Garrett Essenberg right there behind Conan Peoples, Dunaway, and Cook. Lucas Bray falling off the pace just a little bit. Take a look at our fastest 5 drivers. According to the last lap, Zachary King with a 55.42 setting the fastest lap of the race, followed by Romano, Wilson, Porter, and Dave Allen. Matt Wilson in the number 93 Busch Chevrolet Camaro able to get around Jaden Porter. Wilson running about 0.4 of a second faster than our leader, Zachary King, at this moment. King with a 55.67 and Wilson with a 55.49, so just about 0.3 faster. But we know the name of the game here at Pocono is tire management, fuel management, and momentum. Romano now working on Porter. Sliding up the track a little bit, trying to stay in some clean air. Run this draft as far as he can take it. Let's see if he can hit 190, 191, 192 miles an hour. Really wrap that third seam right there. Keep all the momentum. think Porter getting stuck on that high line all those laps has probably done a number on his right side tires. But both of these guys going to have a little bit of a difficult task working around the lap car of Ryan Testa. Testa succumbing to going a lap down as Romano looks like he was going to drop into the inside on Porter. Didn't have enough speed. Let's go on board here with Dave Allen. As Dave Allen looks to work around the lap car of Testa. Making the pass on Jaden Porter. Porter looking to go for the crossover, not going to quite have what it takes to get back up into third. Romano taking the high side into turn one. Romano 2 seconds behind Wilson. Wilson able to close that gap to 0.5 of a second on our leader, Zachary King. So we take a quick look at our point standings. Christian Barnes, driver that is not in this race tonight, 31 points ahead of Zachary King. So if Zachary King can finish third or better, he will assume the lead in the championship point standings. And you have Zachary King in third, Chris Romano in fourth, Joseph Essenberg in fifth, Ryan Testa in sixth, Lucas Bray in seventh, and Dave Allen on the bubble. As we get ready to start the chase in 2 weeks. We'll be at Homestead next week, and then the chase will start on June 29th at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Zachary King trying to break the draft, but Wilson is too close for that to be a successful option for him. Look at the gearbox of Zachary King. See Wilson really catching that draft. He is right there. Only a matter of time before he makes a move on Zachary King. Makes his move into turn three. King able to slide in front, make the block, and we race on. Take a look back here at Daniel Dunaway in the number 15 U.S. Marines Chevrolet Camaro, working on the number 8 of Jason Thomas for 7th. A little bit of rear end damage for Dunaway. Doesn't look like it's affecting him too much. We look at Garrett Essenberg working on Conan. And Howard Peoples coming, getting to the inside of Peoples. Peoples trying to hang on to it. Essenberg currently 11th. missing his brother Joseph Essenberg tonight. Those two like to work together a lot on these drafting tracks. Essenberg looked like he was going to make it 3 wide there. Tony working on the inside of Peoples, making the pass. Slide up in front of Peoples. Essenberg trying to creep up, go for that side draft. Not quite going to get there. Trying to wrap the bottom right there in turn number 1. Peoples, a lot of wheel on exit. John Cook coming down pit road. Scheduled stop number 1 for John Cook. Cook going to come down for 4 good years and some Sunoco race fuel. And he's back on the track. Go back up and take a look at the battle for the lead right now. Zachary King and Matt Wilson. King having a lot of speed, running that middle seam. Wilson opting for the bottom. A little more of a tire-saving approach for Wilson. He's still keeping pace with King. Keeping him at just about 2 to 3 tenths of a second. Wilson coming down pit road for his scheduled stop. So yield the second place position to Chris Romano. Nothing separating Romano but from King. Let me rephrase that. The only thing separating them is air and opportunity. As I say that, John Cook slides up in front of Romano, trying to get his lap back the hard way. We're on board here with John Cook on those fresh tires. Looking to get his lap back. Prior to Zachary King coming down pit road. John Cook up 1 position from where he started. His highest position was 4th, his lowest was 12th. He's not sure how it shows he's got a lap lead if his highest position was 4th, but nevertheless. Working on Zachary King to get his lap back. I do believe Zachary King might be coming down pit road this time by. Maybe next time as looking to make that a little difficult for him. Chris Romano coming down pit road. 4 tires and fuels for Romano. Lucas Bray coming down pit road. Just about a third of the way through this race. And our race leader, Zachary King, right now is staying out. Really going to push his tires and fuel to the absolute max. Take a look at some pit stop statistics. Zachary King pit 22 laps ago for fuel only. That is why he's able to stay out. Joseph Conan and Jared Essenberg getting 4 tires. And everybody else getting 4 tires. Lucas Bray and Peoples getting some repairs as we see Romano coming down pit road. Conan going down on the apron, trying to get around the number 4 car of Jared Essenberg. Zachary King still the leader while he sits in pit road, but Jared Essenberg, well, he comes down pit road. Jaden Porter going to assume the race lead. Lucas Bray opting to spend some time in pit road to get his damage repaired. New race leader, ladies and gentlemen, by the way of Jaden Porter. Zachary King leading 20 laps. Jaden Porter leading 5. Howard Peoples leading 3. Zachary King about 4 seconds back from Porter. We'll see how much ground that he can make up. As Lucas Bray working around Porter, trying to get one of his laps back the hard way. Up on the outside of Porter. Porter's best option probably to just let Lucas Bray in front of him and then catch a toe off of him down the straightaway and pull away from Chris Romano. As Bray going down to the inside, breaking the draft. That's only going to help his teammate Chris Romano, as Chris Romano, second place, working on Jaden Porter. Porter getting a little bit loose on exit of the tunnel turn. Fastest lap of the race so far, coming by way of Lucas Bray for 54.87. He's got his damage fixed. Got some fresh tires. Now the only person he's got to battle with is number 29 of Howard Peoples to get his position for the Lucky Dog should we get a caution. Now the question is, where is Peoples on the track in relation to Lucas Bray? Peoples coming out of turn number 1. Lucas Bray crossing the start-finish line. So Lucas Bray's got quite some time to catch Howard Peoples, as Lucas Bray definitely aching for the bacon tonight in that number 57 Piggly Wiggly machine. Romano now to the inside of Porter. Through turn number 3. Romano going to be the new race leader, ladies and gentlemen. Both Romano and Porter opting for the high line through turns 1 and 2. I believe Romano's thought process was to just put a little bit of dirty air on Porter. As Romano comes out of turn 3, across the start-finish line, completes lap number 34. Zachary King back in 5th at the moment. Does not have a drafting partner at the moment. It's going to be extremely difficult for Zachary King to make up some time. Oh, he's saving fuel. That's why. King's saving fuel. I think he might try and stretch it to the end. If you listen real closely, he's going to clutch it. So super safe mode for Zachary King. We'll see if this doesn't work out for him, as most of the other drivers are going to have to come down about lap 55 to 60. Interesting strategy here from the number 1 of Zachary King. Save mode as well. And you can kind of hear he's definitely not full throttle. Jake Porter's doing the same thing. I believe Jake Porter's in super safe mode as well. doesn't particularly sound like it in the tunnel turn. Let's see what he does here in 3. Porter running about 6/10 slower than Romano right now. Romano is in the saving fuel mode. And Romano gaining on the pack in front of him. I believe that's going to be Essenberg, Conan, and Dunaway. Essenberg, who is that? Yes, Essenberg, Conan, and Lucas Bray. Interesting strategy by the 44 and the driver, Zachary King. Let's go on board with Wilson here. See if Wilson is kind of running the same strategy. Does not seem like it, but Porter's saving fuel just not the way that Romano is. Porter's just light on the throttle and Romano's just clutching it. See what Dave Allen's got going on here. Too much saving going on by Dave Allen. Dave Allen in the number 31 Ideal Family machine. Make sure you contact Ideal Family for your construction, canine training, pest management, auto detail, and race team needs. They're located in the upstate New York area. Look them up on Google. Ideal Family LLC for all your construction, canine training, pest management, auto detail, and racing related needs. Chris Romano catching up to Essenberg and Conan. Super save mode. Has to stay in the throttle in turn 3 to get past Conan. Excellent job here. If I can take a look at Zachary King, really save it, clutching it way before entry. strategy thing works out for these guys. I know me personally, I am not the best at saving fuel. It's definitely something that that's acquired. It's not something that you could just say you're going to do and then start doing it. You really got to narrow down that craft. Take a look at Ryan Testa back here, running just outside the top 10 in 11th position. Howard Peoples, 6 laps down, got decent amount of his front damage fixed. But absolutely clean race so far with only 1 caution in the first 2 laps of the race. We are just over halfway. Your current leader, Chris Romano. Romano leading 11 laps. Second to Zachary King's 20. Biggest gainers of the night so far, Garrett Essenberg, Dave Allen. And it does look like Matt Wilson and Dave Allen opting to come down pit road. Fuel strategy not working out for them as they planned it, so they're coming down. Jason Thomas coming down pit road as well. Wilson, 4 tires and fuel. Allen, 4 tires and fuel. And they are going to be off. They go from fuel save mode to full push mode. Zachary King still 17 seconds behind Romano. But if King can save enough fuel and Romano runs out, King could actually win this race. Pocono, one of those tracks that thins out really quick and you can really get a bunch of separation. And then everybody pretty much stuck working by themselves with no drafting partner, so that's going to slow down the pace. The caveat to that is you don't have anybody to have to race around and worry about, so get to a position where you can kind of run your race and run your line and everything that comes along with it. Five cars on the lead lap at this point in time. Romano, King, Wilson, Porter, and Allen, with Conan being the first car a lap down. So should we get a caution, he will be the recipient of the Ideal Family Lucky Dog. Romano still saving fuel. See what King's strategy is. King looks like he's gaining some time on Romano. Nope, still saving fuel. strategy important, as you see a lot of the professional real-life NASCAR drivers all doing fuel strategy. Kyle Busch, one of the best at it. Romano coming down for fuel. Zachary King coming out of turn number 3 will once again resume the race lead. Although with all these guys coming down pit road for fuel, King might have to do the same exact thing. Wilson coming out of turn number 3. He'll assume the second place position. As you see Romano coming off pit road. Romano gonna fall down to 4th. But I don't think at this point in time he has to worry about fuel. Going board here with Jaden Porter. Wilson now 17 seconds behind Zachary King. But it does look like Wilson is gaining ground rapidly. Conan Essenberg down pit road. Porter working the number 8 car of Jason Thomas. Porter in the AG's Designs Toyota Supra. Porter just about 5 seconds behind Wilson. Not gaining on King the way you would think. King appears to be off of the fuel saving strategy. At least that's what it sounded like. Coming out of turn 3. Nope, he's still on it. We will see what Zachary King will do this time around. Zachary King in the MX Wraps Ford Mustang. King's got a decision to make here. I'm not quite sure. If we look at the pit stop statistics, Zachary King last pit 24 laps ago. I believe the fuel window is about 30 laps or so. Zachary King really stretching his fuel. But Wilson now cuts the gap to 11 seconds. Back and look at Romano working on Jaden Porter. Sliding up into third. If Romano comes down pit road at some point, Wilson's going to take the lead. Romano will go up into second. Porter will go up into third. And that's exactly what we see here. Romano having no choice but to come down pit road, which will yield the race lead to Matt Wilson. Wilson going to lead his first laps of the race, coming with 27 to go. Romano not too far behind him. About 6 seconds. Jaden Porter about a second and a half behind Romano, and Dave Allen 4 seconds behind Porter. Six cars on the lead lap. As Wilson out of the tunnel turn, down the third straightaway into turn number 3, and he will come across the start finish line and leave us with 25 laps to go. Romano cut that gap down to 5.5 seconds. Romano was absolutely on pace. Lucas Bray, first driver out of this race. Howard Peoples down pit road. Romano slowly closing that gap. Oh, Lord, here with Romano. Almost down to 5 seconds. Under 4 seconds now. Could be in here for a thriller. Might just be a drag race to the finish by the time Romano catches Wilson. Zachary King trying to work around that lap car of Howard Peoples. King 34 seconds behind the leader. Unfortunate for him. Getting a little loose coming out of the tunnel turn. Trying to work around Peoples. It's got to be frustrating for Zachary King. Got a lap car with fresher tires out in front of him. Having to work around him. Peoples not making it easy for him to get around. Oh, wow. Chris Romano, new race leader. Let's go back and take a look and see just exactly how that happened. I don't think Porter pit. Well, I'm not sure what happened there to Porter. But Romano assumes the race lead. Porter had to have gotten loose. Or pushed tight. Unfortunate for Porter as he was in position to get his first win of the season here in the All-American Racing Network. Porter coming down pit road. he's got any damage anywhere. No. No damage. Probably hurt his tires, though. Romano and King both looking to get their 4th win of the season. Romano 34 seconds out in front of Wilson. The other question is, does Romano have enough fuel? King and Porter not separated by much. Porter going to be on those fresher tires. Let's see if he actually took tires. He took 4 tires, so he'll get around Zachary King. Romano, at this point, looks like he's got it locked in. The only variable is, does he have the fuel? Does not look like it. He's going to spend about 50 seconds on pit road. Let's see what Romano does. Right sides, fuel. Rights and fuel. Cuts 8 seconds down. Romano only 6 seconds back now from Wilson. Wilson's got John Cook in front of him. Could potentially slow him down just a tad bit. But no, he's going to get around him pretty easily. "13 laps to go." Does Romano have enough time to get back to Matt Wilson, or will Wilson get his first win tonight in the All-American Racing Network? Matt Wilson making his debut here in the All-American Racing Network. Can he pull off a win in his first race? The way the relative is looking right now, does not look Romano's going to be able to get there. He's going to have to gain about 3/4 of a second a lap to be able to catch Wilson. Take a look here at John Cook. Running in 6th, 1 lap down. Top 5 drivers, all your lead lap drivers right now, all guaranteed a top 5 spot. Zachary King, Dave Allen, Jaden Porter, Chris Romano, and your race leader right now, Matt Wilson. Take a look at Daniel Dunaway working to get around Howard Peoples. Daniel Dunaway's next driver to battle for position is 28 seconds ahead of him, so not much for John Cook to worry about. Daniel Dunaway catching him, unfortunately for Dunaway. And that's just the reality of Pocono here, ladies and gentlemen. We look at our fastest 5 best laps right now. Matt Wilson and Lucas Bray tied for the fastest lap of the race with a 54.87. Jaden Porter second to them with a 54.88, and Dave Allen with a 54.96, and Chris Romano with a 55.05. Biggest gainers of the night, John Cook up 6 positions, followed by Essenberg, Allen, Porter, and Daniel Dunaway. And we'll take a quick look at our lap leaders. Zachary King leading the most laps with 26, Romano with 24. Matt Wilson, currently your race leader, leading 12 laps. I always say it doesn't matter how many laps you lead in the race, the most important one to lead is the final lap. That's the most important one. Matt Wilson starting on the pole in prime position for the win. What a performance that Matt Wilson has put on in his first race with the All-American Racing Network here at Pocono. It's unfortunate he's got in so late. We'll have high hopes for Matt Wilson for next season. Hopefully Matt stays around because he is one heck of a race car driver. Romano still just about 7.5 seconds behind Wilson. Unfortunately, not going to have the juice to get to Wilson. As Wilson takes the start-finish line, brings us to 5 to go. Wilson getting ready to put Zachary King, the 5th place driver, a lap down. Never would have imagined in a million years that the 5th place driver would go a lap down at Pocono. Yet here we are. Front board with Essenberg here. Only 8th, started 13th in the race. Oops. But it is all the Matt Wilson show here tonight at Pocono, ladies and gentlemen. Phenomenal performance.
2 to go.
Popsicle sticks, ladies and gentlemen. 2 laps to go. Current leader, Matt Wilson. 1 caution for 3 laps and 7 lead changes. Romano was able to close that gap down to about 6 seconds, but unfortunately not going to get there. As Matt Wilson exits turn 3, comes across the start-finish line for the final lap of the race. Brought to you by Ideal Family, LLC. Through the tunnel turn goes Wilson. Out of turn number 3 and in his debut in the All-American Racing Network, Matt Wilson takes the checkered flag. Chris Romano in second, Jaden Porter in third. What a performance by Matt Wilson in his debut with the All-American Racing Network, taking the win in dominating fashion, winning by just about 6 seconds over Chris Romano. Unofficial results: Wilson, Romano, Porter, Allen, and Cook, your top 5. Wilson with his victory burnout right in front of the start-finish line. Barney getting a bird's eye view. And we are going to get our post-race interview started, and we will talk to our third-place finisher, Mr. Jaden Porter. Jaden, how's it going, sir?
It's going.
Yeah, man, it's you had the lead quite a few times in this race, and it came down to fuel strategy, and unfortunately you were on the short end of the stick there. Kind of walk me through what your strategy was throughout the race.
Yeah, well, I was kind of hoping that we could just pit every 20 laps that we have in the tank and it would all be good, but I think that first caution on lap 4 kind of threw everything off. I stayed out and kept the lead, but I think at the end of the day, those 4 extra laps of fuel just made that difference, and nothing we could do about it.
Yeah, it's unfortunately that's the the name of the game here at Pocono. It always comes down to a fuel strategy. And another question I have for you is, how'd the tires hold up? I didn't really see a lot of drivers falling off pace too much, but was that a challenge for you as well?
Yeah, I was struggling quite a bit out there in practice. We were quite loose, but I think the track got hotter out there, and we were just so tight that entire race. No adjustment that we did was making it feel any better. So at the end of the day, it's kind of just whatever, but sucks. But we move on.
It does. You were looking to get your first win here at the All American Racing Network. Fortunately, it does not come tonight, but we'll be at Homestead next week, so you'll have a shot to go for a win there. But before we let you go, Mr. Porters, anyone you want to thank and who helped you get it done?
Yeah, I mean, of course, I just want to thank all of my sponsors backing me: AG's Design, Saints Media, Fish Speed has always been there, helping me practice, get better. So all thanks to them. But yeah, bad race, but we try to get a Homestead, one of my better tracks. So hopefully we can do it there.
Yeah, we'll see you next week at Homestead, Mr. Porter. Congratulations on your third place finish.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. All right. It is time to go ahead and pull in our second place finisher of the night, Chris Romano. Chris, how's it going?
It's going good. How you doing?
Not too bad, man. Man, it was between you, Porter, and Wilson, kind of going back and forth on pit strategies. Porter had the lead, he pit. You had the lead, you pit. Wilson had the lead, he pit. But he was able to come away with a win. You came in second place. What was the game plan there from the start, and what changed, if anything, throughout the race?
Yeah, I was trying to save some fuel. I was saving pretty much every corner, every lap, because I had in my head that maybe if I'd save enough the next stop too, then I'll make it to the end. But I quickly figured out my math wasn't mathing. so after that first stop, after saving fuel, I just sent it. I feel like if I sent it the entire time, I didn't save any fuel, I would probably still made it to the end without saving. And since it stayed green, I probably would have had a bigger lead, possibly a win. But yeah, overall, I'm happy with second again, and just safe in the chase. I know Lucas didn't have the best day today. He got caught up in that wreck that I was in, so I feel bad about that. But hopefully we could get him in the chase as well.
Yeah, he as it stands right now, let me go back and pull it up. You're well safe in the chase, in fourth. You'll most likely get in front of Peoples. You'll go into third. Lucas, 2 spots above the cut line, so he should still be in good shape. But a little bit more of a different style track as we look forward to next week at Homestead, Miami. What are kind of your feelings? I heard that. What's what are you looking forward to with Miami, or what are you not looking forward to at Miami?
It's a fun track. I never really ran Miami with the setup before, so hopefully it helps a little bit. But I just know the fixed setups at Miami. I just feel like the car just doesn't want to turn whatsoever. So I think I'll probably figure out how to do it. I'll probably figure out how to be decently fast, but I'm going to have my expectations pretty low for next week.
It's always good to set your expectations low. This way, anything above those expectations is a win. So
yeah, for sure. But again, mainly focus on Lucas, and probably could have let him by today. Maybe would have been in such a bad position, but just next week definitely got to take care of him and get him a good finish.
Absolutely. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Chris Romano, your second place finisher. Chris, who do you want to thank and who helped you get it done tonight?
Thank you, of course. Put on the broadcast. Thank AARN, great league, Revolution Racing, and my teammate Lucas. And shout out to my mom, my dad, my sister.
Awesome. Well, Chris, we appreciate you being here, putting on a great show, and we'll see you next week at Homestead, Miami.
Thanks, man.
Yes, sir. And it is time to bring down your race winner, Matt Wilson. Matt, how's it going, sir?
Good. How are you?
Good. So, phenomenal performance by you here. Not only getting the pole in your debut with the All American Racing Network, but getting a win as well. So first off, congratulations. Second, man, what I want to know what you were on, because you were just absolutely on fire tonight.
Just a little bit of luck. I did some really bad decisions with not missing the grid, missing my pit. So just some good driving made up for it.
Yeah, I concur with that. A lot of guys appeared to be on different fuel strategies. I do believe you came down when we had that caution on lap 4. Did that play any factor in your strategy going forward through the rest of the race?
Not really. I didn't really try to save any. So it made a little bit of a difference at the end because I was able to pit with 20 to go. Whereas I would have had to save a little bit if I probably wouldn't have grabbed fuel right there on lap 4. But it all worked out.
Awesome. Well, Mr. Wilson, us here up in the booth and our viewers out there, we don't know much about you. What can you tell us about yourself from a race perspective? Excuse me. How long you've been iRacing? How long you've been doing league racing? And kind of some of your goals going forward in the All American Racing Network.
Yeah. So I've been doing iRacing for probably about a year now for ovals, and I've done a couple leagues. Never really been into leagues. Stuck to officials more than likely, but yeah, I mean, I just want to find a good B car that's fun to run and has some good participation.
Yeah, awesome. Unfortunately, not quite the participation we see here at the All American Racing Network, but seems like a lot of guys just tend to stay away from Pocono. But all things considered, from my perspective, great league. Obviously, coming here at Pocono and only getting one caution out of an 80-lap race is definitely a bonus. We've seen
that's great.
We've seen the officials just be absolutely atrocious. So I think you've got into a good spot. Coming in on your debut, getting the win. Unfortunately, probably not going to do much as far as championship points are concerned, but we have high expectations for you for next season. So we congratulate you on the win. And before we let you go, we give you an opportunity to give your shout outs and thank whoever you want to thank.
Hey, yeah, I would like to thank my buddy Russell Windsor. He would be over the moon that I finally won one.
Awesome. Mr. Matt, congratulations on your win, and we'll look forward to seeing you next week at Homestead, Miami, sir.
I appreciate it, man. Have a good one.
Yes, sir. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to wrap up our interview segment. We'll go ahead and we will look at our official race results here. Week 11 at Pocono. Race winner is Matt Wilson. Second place, Chris Romano. Third place, Jaden Porter. Fourth place, Dave Allen. Fifth place, John Cook. Sixth place, Zachary King. Seventh place, Daniel Dunaway. Eighth place, Garrett Essenberg. Ninth, Joseph Conan. Rounding at the top 10 is Ryan Testa. 11th, Jason Thomas. 12th, Howard Peoples. And 13th, Lucas Bray. Hard charger of the night, John Cook. Most laps led tonight, Zachary King. Fastest lap and the pole go to Matt Wilson. We went a total of 80 laps, 200.45 miles. We had 7 different leaders, lead changes with 5 different leaders, 1 caution on lap 4, total of 3 laps. And, man, what a race that was. Really happy for these guys that it was able to go green. Made for an excellent broadcast. I'm pretty sure some of those guys would have hoped for a caution to come out so they can tighten up and be in a position for a win. But that's the way racing goes. If it goes green, it goes green. If you have a lot of cautions, you have a lot of cautions, and you just have to adjust your strategy from there. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you once again for tuning into the All American Racing Network. We will see everybody next week at Homestead, Miami, as we get ready to go into the chase. Miami's going to be the last regular season race before we go into the chase. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, God bless. Have a good night, and we'll see you